Give blood and keep the world beating is a theme today as we celebrate Blood Donor Day. Really important one as we celebrate individuals that have always been courageous to go out and donate blood, and also as we sensitize the masses on the importance of donating blood to make sure that we keep our people alive. As it is in sub-Saharan Africa, too many people have lost their lives, especially the mothers and children, because of lack of blood, and therefore it's important that we have that uninterrupted supply of blood. So it's important, even as we celebrate this crucial day, that you think about it, probably today, march into any hospital and ask whether they'd be able to have this, space where they are donating blood, and therefore we take up the challenge and make sure that at least we get to save a life. And so we have this conversation this morning. Fred Majiwa, St. John Ambulance fella, is joining us this morning so that we can expound on that, or we can get to understand the importance of donating blood and who is eligible to donate blood, and some of the nitty-gritty details that pertain to individuals donating blood. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Asante sana. Yeah. And I can see you're coming with some tools. Well, you'll tell us the reason why we have them today. But just what is the importance of us being constant and us, being in a scenario where we always are ready to donate blood in the event that we are eligible?
You see, blood is not manufactured. Blood has to be donated.
Yes.
And the people who donate blood are the Kenyans who donate blood to their fellow Kenyans. And you see, when somebody needs blood, it's an emergency situation, and it's good that there is available blood in the bank. Unfortunately, in the past, we have been in a situation where we are always in deficit. Yeah. The country needs about 490 pints of blood, but in a year we generate about 150,000 pints. This is like a quarter of what is required. So you find that in most occasions we have shortage. But today, being a day that we celebrate the World Blood Donor Day, even as we celebrate those who have donated in the past, we also urge others who have not donated to also come forth and give this precious gift, because it is what will keep the world beating. What
informs this shortage? The fact that people are not always willing to go out and donate blood?
There are a number of factors that have been at play. One, there are few people who are coming out to donate blood. And two is that we need to have regular donors. There are those who come once and then they go back to donate after several years.
Yeah.
We need to cultivate a culture where people regularly donate blood, at least twice in a year. And that will be adequate enough to keep us.
All right.
Because WHO recommends that in every group of 100 people, one of them donate blood in a year.
Okay.
But if you look at the way we are structured in Kenya, even an extended family can just nominate one person and we will hit that target. At the moment, every one person, in every 300 people, we are only donating one pint.
Person, or one pint.
One pint.
That's way below the bar, as you rightfully put it. I'm told it's becoming a money-minting affair, and therefore it discourages the majority of the people who would be wishing to go out there and donate. And I agree, whether it is sold or not, but it lands into a point where it saves a life, it is well and good. But again, my understanding is that when blood is being donated to you, it should be free of charge.
Yes, blood should be free, and it is donated free and also given free. That is the principle across the world. But you find that there are instances where there are people who are motivated by greed, and these are the people who are spoiling for the better good of what is required. So these few people who are spoiling, I guess the long arm of the government should stretch to ensure that we weed out such kind of people, because they destroy. But that notwithstanding, it's not strong reason enough to stop somebody from donating blood. Because you see, yes, there could be one or two people who have decided to do wrong things with the blood that others donate, and that's unfortunate. But what we say is that let's not stop donating, because if you stop donating, there are people who will still need this blood. Whether there are people who are selling it out there or there are people who are ensuring that it is good. So that is why we just encourage people. let's just donate. There are a number of people who are doing wrong things about the blood, and Kenyans should be vigilant enough to ensure that such kind of people are highlighted so that they can be handled by the government agencies in charge of investigations. Yeah.
All right. It's one thing to, encourage people to go and donate blood. It's another to go and sensitize them, enlighten them on what is required of them, on what is expected of them, on what an eligible giver is. And in most cases, one would argue that probably most of the people shy away because they really do not have much of this information. And the excitement is only there when we are celebrating World Blood Donor Day. Yeah. And once that day is off, you will not see people, under the tents trying to sensitize people, call upon people to come and donate blood. Do you suppose there's been so much in terms of education that has been disseminated to the people to give them the confidence and, constant reminder that it's important to donate blood?
I don't think enough has been done to educate the population about giving blood. Otherwise, if it was done, then we could have been having regular donors and we could have not been in deficit. And that is why we are grateful that you're giving us this opportunity so that we can educate the masses of the key important things that they need to do, what is required of them, whether they are eligible and such kind of things. But you see, the information is quite simple. I think when some people hear about blood, they think it's too much complex thing.
Yeah.
Yet it's just a simple activity. For instance, when somebody goes to a center to donate blood, there are few things that will be done to you, just testing whether you are okay medically, testing your blood pressure, measuring your weight. And you see, the only eligibility is that you are 16 to 65 years. That's the only requirement.
You see, there are a lot of myths that surround blood donation, the act of blood donation. And I'll tell you for free, unless these ones are demystified, it becomes hard for people. I'm telling you this because, well, I didn't even remember that we are close to days of, we are days away from the day of celebrating World Blood Donor Day. And it's just the other day that someone was telling me that, I'm told that people who have given birth or the mothers who've given birth are not supposed to go and donate blood. It's not encouraged. Is it true?
Yes, there may be some circumstances that doctors may recommend that certain people do not donate blood.
Yeah.
But you see, a larger mass of people are eligible to donate.
Yes.
If you look at those who are ineligible, they are a very small percentage, very negligible percentage. And that's why when somebody goes to donate blood, we ask their medical history or health history so that you don't risk them more. We have to ensure that they have adequate blood or they are not at risk of being affected after donating blood. So that's why people should not look at the small percentages. They exist. That's why we only need 1 in every 100. And you find that those who are ineligible are like also 1 in 100. Yeah.
All right, interesting. And I'll be asking some of these questions that have been raised. Some say that, I have a tattoo. I'm told I cannot donate blood. Whether that is true or not, you will tell us. Even as you tell us, who are these people who are eligible to donate blood?
Those who are eligible to donate blood, as I've said, is those who are 16 years and above.
That is the main thing.
That is the main thing.
Okay.
And then they have to be 50 kgs and above.
All right.
Those 2 criteria are the main ones.
Okay.
But again, when you go to the center to donate, there are few questions you'll be asked. One is to try to probe your risk in terms of sexual activity, because after you have donated, the blood should be tested for HIV, for hepatitis, for syphilis. So if you have a risky sexual behavior, then there may be risk in your blood. So that's why some of those histories are required. If somebody is taking medication, injected medication, some of those medications you're not recommended to give blood during such times. So mainly I can say those are the main things that we look at when somebody goes to a center to donate. Then after that, it's good that there are things you will know. One, you will know your blood groups, because I tell you, there are people in this country who do not know even their blood group.
That's true.
And this is unfortunate. So go there to even know your blood group if you don't have any other reason.
Well, once you go there, and that's the reason why people will say, I'll go there for the first time so I know my blood group, and once I know my blood group, that's it. I don't go back there again, because then it's the same blood group all through. So why should I go back again? But anyway, and I would want us to raise some of these issues that have been raised by the people. They are watching today. A majority of them would wish to go and donate blood today, now that, well, it's that day. And so some are worried, if I am on my menstruals, do I proceed and go and donate blood? Because the majority, I would want to assume, think, or they just want to know, do I have to waste my time and go under that tent, or I just get to know that this is not allowed, and therefore not waste my time and go there at all?
Yeah, please just proceed to the center.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there are no much things that are looked at. Just go to the center.
You won't tell us some of these things today?
No.
Why not?
It's safe to donate blood.
It is safe.
I mean, it's only serious medical conditions that stop somebody from donating blood, and also if they are underweight, because that will risk their life. But there are so many other things that you just overlook. I'm sure some people will ask issues to do with whether they are COVID-19 and they can donate blood. The only thing that can stop you from donating is because you can infect others, but not that you cannot donate. But of course, it's recommended that if somebody has tested positive or has shown some signs of COVID, they give it some 14 days before they proceed to donate blood. But more important is that because you've talked of people who want to go once and say that's it all, I think that's not a good way to keep our country safe.
Right.
The best way is to be regular, because you see, the blood that you donate today only has a shelf life of about 28 to 42 days. After that, we need another one. So it has to be used.
It is disposed.
We have a shortage.
So there's no room for disposal.
There's no room for disposal.
I get it.
Yeah, because we're already in shortage.
Okay.
That's why we need to have regular donors. And you see, sometimes when there are national disasters that occur, many people come and donate blood. But we need people to continue with that trend even after that disaster. Because during that period, yes, we satisfy the short period of demand, but looking ahead, we need regular donors so that we can keep the supply stable.
I think I agree to that. When it hits home is when you realize that you actually need to do that. When you have this patient and maybe they require that donation, is really, really important. Now that's when you start sending messages to your friends and WhatsApp groups.
You run to social media, you
please.
mobilize. I mean, we should not be in such a situation.
Yeah.
If all of us were generous enough, we would it's just a half a pint, 450 meals that you donate, and we are good to go.
But which is the most rare that I know many would want, and maybe?
Of course, in Kenya, O negative is the most rare group.
Most rare
group, and many people really look for it. And again, the most common one is O positive.
Yeah.
So we are just playing around O.
We're just playing around O. Yeah. All right. So of course, can we confidently say that out of this, indeed, we've lost so many lives because then we've not been able to service the same?
Yes, there are so many lives that have been lost that could have been prevented if all of us came forth and donated blood. And these are lives of people who served, maybe others depend on them, or these are people who could have made great contribution to our country and our economy. But we lose them just because of a pint that could have been donated by one or two people to keep them living. So it's always a call. You may think it's far away until it hits home. Accidents do not choose who to affect. Some of these medical conditions, women will still continue giving birth. But we want them to feel safe whenever they go for such important procedures that keep generations and generations. That whenever they go for such procedures, they will come out safe. And same to road accidents. People with anemic conditions need this blood regularly. Cancer patients also need this blood. If only we came forth and gave a pint, we will keep these people alive. And you see, that's the most important call. How is it? It's very interesting to feel that what you have donated is what's making somebody be alive.
And that would be the key benefit of donating blood, because there's some people who would want to ask that, how do I get to benefit once I donate this blood?
It's just to be happy that you have kept somebody alive.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so how, like, once I have donated blood, say I do donate blood today, when again do I donate blood, or can I be allowed to?
For ladies, you take about 3 months before you go back to donate. For ladies, 4 months, and then for men, you can go back after 3 months due to some genetic variations.
Okay.
But let's say after every quarter, you can actually donate. But even
that's why you said at least approximately twice.
Even if we did it twice a year, it's safe enough.
All right.
Yeah.
When was the last time you donated blood? I'm sorry I'm asking you this.
I'm going to donate blood today.
Today. All right. That's good. That's really good. I hope I will be able to do the same. I mean, just to save a life is really, really important. I see you've carried something for us. What's it about?
These are some of the equipment that you will see when you go to a blood site to donate.
Okay.
One of the things you will see is a BP machine, which is basically to test your blood pressure, which will be between 80 and 120, just to ensure that you are safe to donate. Then there is a weighing machine, which the moment you come in, we have to weigh and ensure that you are 50 kgs.
We're not able to see that, in as much as we want to assume that, oh, yeah, good, there you go, yeah?
Yeah, so you have to weigh yourself and ensure you're 50 kgs and above, so that you can proceed to donate blood. So these are the main things that you will find there. Other than that, the other things are clinical. We'll just do a small injection on your arm, and then you will just pump it and keep the world beating.
Yeah, that's true. Keep the world beating is the theme this year. And my director says that I should be on the weighing. What would we call that? You said weight?
This one is a weighing machine.
Weighing machine. Oh, you know, it sounds like a weighing machine is for other commodities and not human beings. That's why I found it hard to say it. And I'm thinking, why does he need to know my weight? But I am eligible, trust me. I am past that weight that, you know, the specialist speaks of. But anyway, just how innovative have we gotten to, you know, make sure that, you know, we maintain these mechanisms and we maintain this flow that we should be having in uninterrupted supply. I know you've spoken of a scenario where we have way below what it is that is expected, but we need to have plans of making the same. One, I'd love to know, historically, is there a point where we've had enough supply of blood in our banks? If not so, then what are some of the things that we're trying to bring on board to make sure that at least as a country we are able to sustain this?
As a country, we've never hit our target. We are playing with a quarter of our target, and this is not a good scenario. But despite that, there are a number of improvements that we should work on. One, we should improve funding to the agencies that handle blood transfusion, because this will ensure that they are efficient enough to even handle issues of blood. And there are innovations that have come on board, mostly from the private sector. There are institutions who have innovated applications. For instance, we have the Musasa, who have an innovative application that somebody can go and book to donate blood. So some of these interventions will really improve our situation. And the other one is there is a possibility of even using drones to transport blood from one point to another. And there are organizations who have such kind of plans to ensure that these are utilized to ensure that, because when somebody needs blood, it's an emergency situation. And for that blood to come from the blood bank to the site of use, there's some distance there, which if we look at our normal traffic could be a problem. So using drones can also help improve the efficiency in terms of the use of the blood that we have.
Rwanda is doing that so well.
Exactly.
And well, a couple of other countries, the likes of Zimbabwe, who've so much tapped into the youths or the young generation towards...
You see, the young generation are the biggest donors everywhere.
Yes, everywhere.
In Kenya,
all right, then how do we tap
exception.
into that? We take a quick break and we come back, expound on that very one, because it's really, really important that we have some focus on the same to make sure that at least we get to a level where we're going to be at half, if not full.
3/4.
3/4, okay. Well, full is impossible. All right, we take a short break. We come back with that.
At Global Precast Panels, we have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits. Convenient for story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, I don't know.
And we're just like that. I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela, only on TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongee zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Nitajuble nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
show with a unique perspective as to the property industry right here in Kenya. Not only showing you the properties available, but also showing you how you can look and feel of your living and working spaces.
Yes.
Wow.
This is our office.
This is amazing.
Currently, we have a lot of design ideas.
Ranging from your sitting areas, dining areas, as well as your resting and bedroom areas. We have it all right here on this show. Accessories, finishes, as well as the furniture. You can put it in your house to make it unique and incredible.
Filter every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Every plant has a story, and so does every farmer. It could be a day or a year of hard work.
Well, there are times when you see this message going around social media. That's where we closed it at before we took a break. That the message is circulating on social media, and they say, my brother is in hospital, and requires type O negative, which is actually the rare one. And you look at it and you say, well, I'm not an O negative, and therefore you overlook that message. It's a whole different thing nowadays, because we say whatever it is that you go and donate, if this brother is in dire need of an O, then another O can be taken, and whatever it is that you've left can be used for somebody else. That in essence means that you should not look at that message and say, okay, well, because I am not an O negative or a positive or A positive, then I do not need to bother about this message that is making rounds. In a nutshell, we're trying to say that as we celebrate donors, it's important that you encourage yourself, you remind yourself that if you go out there and donate blood, whichever time, it will save a life at some point in time. Looking at our banks in the country, we are told that we are at that quarter level. That's pretty much unfortunate. If at all, we have to keep the world beating as to the theme. Yeah. And so we come back to you and we say this. I think times have changed. I remember back then when we were donating blood, it was always about, well, it's this person that needs blood, he or she is an A positive, and therefore it has to be an A or positive that is coming to hospital to donate. Times have changed where you are encouraged that whichever blood group that you have, you can proceed, or that whichever blood group that you are, you can proceed and donate blood. I don't think this information has gotten into people as expected.
Yes. Just as you have said, times have changed. There were times maybe it was like that, but where we are, we need all types of blood in the bank.
Yep.
And that's where it is safe to keep it. Because it's unfortunate that we have to wait until somebody is affected. That's when we rush to social media, to messages, to call people here and there. Blood should be in the bank, and all blood groups should be in the bank. So whichever type of blood that you have, take it to the bank and let it stay safe there.
How much of seamless communication is there, and understanding of where one can source for blood is there in our hospitals today?
Most of the hospitals have facilities for transfusing and storing blood. But the institution mandated to handle issues of blood is National Blood Transfusion Service. And they have about 6 regional centers in Mombasa, in Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, Kakamega. And they also have satellite centers where somebody can just walk in and donate blood. But most of the hospitals also have similar facilities that one just needs to step in and donate. Sometimes you may find some hospitals may charge some fee on people who are donating blood. But where such fees are applicable is where you find maybe they want to transport blood from one site to another. So whatever they charge probably could be a transportation fee. But blood should be free, whether it's in private or in public hospital. There are instances where somebody is told to swap, give whatever blood group that you have, and then you'll get another category for the patient. This is just to ensure that just like your bank account, when you withdraw, you need to top up so that you don't keep your account below crisis level.
And the communication is seamless. Like I asked said that, you know, you can know that if we lack this in Kenyatta National Hospital, we can always call St. John's and...
We have not made it quite easy to ensure that you can easily track whatever is at which kind of facility. We have to rely on manual ways of connecting with the other institutions. Other than those with the KNBTS, which because it's a connected institution, they're able to know. But connecting all the institutions with blood has not been achieved. But there are plans to ensure that that is achieved. And from the point where I come from, there are also plans to ensure that even those bags are able to be tracked with some kind of technology, so that you can know that if this blood was donated here, this is how it moved and this is where it landed, for reasons for protecting people who are misusing blood. So if there are issues, you can easily track that this is how it moved, and whether it is wrong or right, after that there will be repercussions.
All right. Well, we know that there are certain dates that are set for the same for, say a pint of blood that has been collected to stay in the bank. Do you suppose we have the right systems of storage?
We have right systems of storage, but sometimes because of funding, you find that the institutions in charge may have a challenge. For instance, there's a particular time that they didn't have the reagents for testing. And you see, if they don't have that funds, their hands are tied. There's nothing they can really do. That's why it's a call that government allocates some funding to such institutions to adequately handle issues of blood storage, transfusions, and transportation. But also, everybody has a role. Even private institutions, I've seen a number of them come forth to help strengthen such institutions, and even to help in the regular blood donation drives. There are institutions we have approached to come, and even giving refreshments for people who donate. That's contribution enough to ensure that we are progressing in the right direction. So all support is welcomed, because everybody at one point or the other may need blood. If it is not you, your friend or your relative may need it. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that I really wanted to mention this, that even if it's for the soda, just go and donate blood. It might sound funny, but I remember the times we used to get excited in high school, you know. It is that moment where you have your buffalo and your soda. And so the excitement is real. But at the end of the day, you know, and the biscuit, and you save a life.
And you know, education institutions are like the substantial percentage of donors that we have. That's why when COVID came in and schools were closed, donations went down. And we are glad that these institutions are back in operation, so that we can go back to those institutions and have them donate regularly.
So the programs are there on?
Yes. So the programs in schools are resuming because they are the largest group of regular donors that we have in the country. And just like I say, youths at large are the largest number of donors that we have in the country. I don't know what's wrong with the higher ages. They need to pick the challenge, not leave it for the youth. But again, even if you look at our populations, youths are the larger population that we have.
At this point, we're calling it a dire moment. Could there be some need where we are pushed into a corner where, you know, it's more like mandatory for us to donate blood, so that at least we're able to keep our banks flowing from what we see? The likes of Zimbabwe have pushed youth to a level where, you know, they pledge for the same. And therefore it almost appears like it's mandatory for them to service the banks.
Donation of blood should be voluntary. Nobody should be pushed to donate blood.
So you want to look at this is not a push. You say they're just pledging.
Yes. A normal push of encouraging them is okay. But making it mandatory is against global principles of blood, because the principle is that it should be voluntary, it should not be paid for. And that's how it is, because it's a precious commodity, and when somebody is donating, he is giving part of themselves to keep others alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you mentioned COVID-19, what more of impact has it had on blood donation?
You see, it kept everybody to their homes, so nobody was coming out to donate. And again, the usual ways that we used to deploy to generate blood, where we organize mass campaigns where people will come in masses, we were not able to do that because there were need for social distancing. And in the initial stages, these preparations were not clear. But now that we have handled the situations, at least we have adapted to it. And we are able to ensure that even at the blood donation centers, precautions are made to ensure that it doesn't encourage or expose people to COVID virus. So this affected our situation, and we moved from bad to worse. And even the quota that we were achieving was now in doubt. But now that we have known what COVID is, we have known how to handle it, a number of people have gotten vaccinations, and even the rates, the way they are being managed are sort of going down. We need to come out and donate blood, because at the bottom line, COVID will not stop accidents from occurring. COVID did not stop women from giving birth. COVID did not stop people from having cancers. And all these people needed blood. So we need blood, and that blood has no substitute. It has to be donated by you and me.
All right.
Yeah.
Per donation session, if I may use that word, how many pints should one be able to donate?
Just one.
Just
about
one.
450.
Shouldn't go beyond that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't go beyond that.
Yeah, just one is adequate. Though there are instances where doctors may recommend, but those are extremely special conditions. But ordinarily, just one is enough.
And what then do you need to do after that to get a normal flow back? Or this does not disrupt your flow in any way?
Before you go to donate blood, you need to take a lot of fluids. And even after donating blood, you also need to take a lot of fluids. Sometimes after donating blood, you may feel dizzy. And that is because there's a low supply of oxygenated blood to your brain cells. So the only thing you need to do is just do first aid for fainting. Lie down and lift your leg up, so that blood by priority or gravity will flow more to the head than to your extreme body. Organs like the legs. So simple first aid is just to lie down and lift your leg up until you regain from that condition. Yeah.
How long would it take for this blood to be tasted and for it to be known whether it can be used or whether it's good for usage for that matter? Because I mean, it took forever before I got the feedback on my blood group. I waited and waited until I don't know how many years is when they were bringing back. That is in school. Maybe that time I had a chance to donate blood and get to know my blood group. But it took forever before it came back. The results came back.
Sorry for that situation. But generally, if you go to a blood center, it will take you about, on average, 15 minutes to donate the blood. And then after that, because there are several procedures which could only be done at the center with the other machines. So that may take a while, but because of advancement in technology, people have mobile phones. So you will definitely receive that result over the phone. There are some instances which may require counseling and before giving you the results. With everybody connected to mobile device, it's quite easy, but definitely it doesn't take a lot of time. As the years before.
Well, let's bank on that. That's true. That was quite a while back when I waited for these results for ages. So I agree. I don't even think there were mobile phones then. I mean, we were not even allowed to because we were in school still. It is chronic, and that's a reality, and we accept that it's not just in Kenya, but in sub-Saharan Africa, that we are struggling, in making sure that our bungs, stay afloat, or our bungs are filled up with blood. What are some of these things that we need to derive to make sure that at least we can change the scenario, in as much as the clarion call is for people to go out there and constantly donate blood?
One of the things that we need to change is just to change our mindset and our way of thinking to look at it from the point that we are dealing with a commodity that cannot be manufactured. We are dealing with a commodity that has to be donated.
Yeah.
And from there, we are also dealing with a commodity that expires within 42 days. So we need to cultivate that culture also of giving blood regularly. But also in terms of the medics who give prescriptions and handle the medication aspect of patient. There are some situations that really do not need blood transfusion.
Right.
So they should explore other alternatives so that they can save the little that we have. When it comes to people who are giving the blood drives a bad name, they just need to change, because this is not good for anybody. You cannot sell something to save another person only to kill another. That's not fair. It's not ethical.
Yeah.
And even whatever kind of deity that you look towards to will not forgive you for it. So people have to change. But on the bottom line, we have to note that as a country, we are operating at a deficit. Everybody has a role to ensure that we bridge that deficit by just going and visiting the center. Take 15 minutes and we'll be okay. And the approach that I will urge people is that if you are in a family, just nominate one person if all of you cannot come.
Well, we will constantly be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good clarification. My own. Can I give my own?
Oh,
and
yes.
if you can eat healthy, you know, if you can eat foods that will make sure that your flow of blood is constant, why don't you do that before it gets to that point when it's dire? I remember when I was pregnant at that point, you know, you go to hospital for the clinics and you're advised to make sure that you eat foods that are, you know, are rich in iron, yeah. Because then my flow was a bit low.
Yeah.
And I mean, I tried my level best to do that. You don't have to wait to the level where it's dire for you to now look around to see who's going to help you out.
Yeah, actually you are what you eat.
That's really important.
Yeah,
that's
whatever
true.
you eat defines you. So prevention starts from your mouth. If you give it too much freedom, it will mess you up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. And so as we close, what will be your parting shots at this point, and as we celebrate, as we say thank you to the people who've been bold enough to go out there and donate blood?
As we wind, I would say that we are grateful to the people who have been donating blood to keep others alive. We know they have given a precious gift that only God can reward them.
Yeah.
We encourage them to give more blood. And to those who are yet to give blood, we urge them to come forth. There are blood drives across the country. For those who are in Nairobi, you just need to visit Uhuru Park today. Then tomorrow and Wednesday, you can go to Bomb Blast.
Yeah.
And then Thursday and Friday, you can go to National Archives and give these precious commodities. Because in the bottom line, we are at a deficit and there is no substitute. We just have to come out and donate blood. We are each brother's keeper. Let us not just give blood to the mosquitoes. We need this blood to human beings.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's well put. That is really well put. Fred Majiwa of St. John's Ambulance, Asante Sana. Great drive, and we hope that we all can heed to this clarion call. Go and donate blood. You never know. Actually, it's a sure deal that you are going to save a life. And so it could be you today, it could be somebody else tomorrow, it could be your relative, and it's really, really important that when you are in that dire need, then you're able to get that help. And that help only comes from you and me. Go out there and donate blood. The people who've managed to do that, we celebrate you for that. Once again, they have said, you've said, where can they go once again?
In Nairobi, they can go to Uhuru Park, and tomorrow and Wednesday, they go to Bomb Blast Memorial Park, just next to it. And then on Thursday and Friday, they can go to National Archives.
Right.
But there are also blood drives across the country at the regional blood transfusion centers in Mombasa, in Eldoret, Nakuru, Kisumu, Embu, Kakamega. And even certain hospitals have set up blood drive centers, which you can join and give this precious commodity. And we will appreciate you and celebrate you. And today we will also reward those who have kept our world beating.
Wow.
And
the few who've constantly.
Yes,
that's
yes.
good.
And as St. John Ambulance, we will be giving free ambulance cover to the top 5 donors in the country. So we wish you to join this kind of list come next year. Yeah.
Yes, definitely do that. I got goosebumps right there. So that means it's really, really important you do not wait until it hits home. We close it at that. Thank you so much once again, Fred. My name is Linda Alela. It was good having you. I see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.